Roblox has a lot of games, and some of those games have a lot of visits. But what is the most visited game that has been deleted? First game I'm going to start off with is a pretty nostalgic game for me, 1000 Ways to Pie. It has 15.7 million visits and has been under review. 1000 Ways to Pie was basically just a bunch of ways to die on Roblox. The creator of the game is now terminated, sadly, but the owner of the game has a YouTube channel who apparently tried to become a YouTuber at some point. It's still unknown why this game is exactly banned, but as you can see, it was a pretty loved game. This next game that you might know with 20.9 million visits is called Content Deleted. But if you're wondering the original name of it, it was Super Checkpoint. The game was basically a kind of obby, except there was more than one game mode that the user can choose. It was pretty beloved until sadly on May 24th, 2019, the game was deleted, and the owner of the game had a warning. This warning reads, "We are sorry, but due to a DMCA correct from the copyright holder, items may be removed or changed in your account." Now you might be wondering, what was this game copyrighted? Well, as it turns out, it was the music. This next game is some that y'all might remember. Welcome to Roblox Building by Roblox. It's been privated since about 2016 and had 23 million visits. Basically in this game, you would use the building tools that Roblox had at the time. It was like a stamp tool, and you would use it to build whatever you wanted. But I think Roblox privated this game along with like tons of their other games simply because there was so many hackers. Like if you ever join Welcome to Roblox Building, there would always be everybody with these weird ass builds that nobody knows how they got into the game. This next game with 31 million visits is called TIBB has been removed due to copyright. Now you might be wondering, what the hell is TIBB? Well, if you look at the badges, you could see that this game was Terror in Bikini Bottom. It was actually a very popular game back in the days of 2010 through 2015. It's kind of sad how this game was deleted. I mean, obviously tons of people loved this game, but it's obvious that, you know, Terror in Bikini Bottom, it's going to be copyrighted by SpongeBob. Now, I think every single person on the existence of Roblox know what this 36 million visit game is. Welcome to the town of Robloxia. Basically, if you don't know this game, you were living under a rock at any point before like 2016. This game was literally living in a town of Robloxia. It was literally the most popular Roblox game at some point. But eventually the creator of the game got hacked and got involved in some other big Roblox scandal. And eventually the game was put under review, which is very sad because this is a very influential game. This next game with 48 million visits is called Call of Robloxia 5. Roblox at War. This was basically Call of Duty of Roblox, which probably tells why it's under review. But in case if you're wondering where the creator of this game is, the guy who made Call of Robloxia is a creator of Phantom Forces. Basically, after this game was, dead since it was pretty, broken at the time, he decided to completely revamp the game, make it a completely different game. This time, instead of copying Call of Duty, it was copying Battlefield. But he basically used the framework of this game to make Phantom Forces. With 59.8 million visits, we have ... which, if you go anywhere back in time, it was Pushing Simulator. Which, if you're curious what this game was about, it was literally pushing. I don't know what else to say. It was pushing people. Now this next game is pretty nostalgic with 69.4 million visits. The Mad Murderer Classic. The Mad Murderer was basically the prime murder game until like 2017 when Murder Mystery 2 took over everything. Lawless is a legend. I mean, he's a legend of Roblox. He has made so many games. I mean, this is generally one of the most influential games in all of Roblox history. Now, jumping all the way up to 261,000 million visits, we have Redescription. If you're wondering what this game was, it was Survivor. Survivor was basically a game that was about the real life show called Survivor. Though sadly in September of 2020, this game received a DMCA violation strike and it's now privated. But now they have a new game with basically the same thing, but now it's called Outlaster. Now with 270 million visits, we have Content Deleted. But if you're wondering what this game was, it was actually Project Pokemon. Basically, back on Roblox, there was quite a few Pokemon fan-made games. These were literally their own games, separate from any Pokemon game that actually exists, but it was made by somebody in Roblox. Project Pokemon was basically just one of those, but it was one of the more popular. But sadly, in 2018, Nintendo went on some sort of power trip and DMCA striked every single Pokemon game. And that includes Pokemon Brick Bronze. Now, this game is sort of a legend now because it's not actually deleted. This was its own separate game. It had its own storyline. It had its own lore. It had its own community. Everybody loved Pokemon Brick Bronze until Nintendo decided to delete it. But luckily, it's back, but it's under a completely new game, a completely new style. Basically, the developers of the game managed to completely revamp the entire game with a new whole storyline, a new whole lore, and into Lumion Legacy, which is completely separate from Pokemon. But now this is the closest thing we have to Pokemon on Roblox. Like, what the hell is this? This is not a Pokemon, but the #1 most visited deleted game on Roblox, or private game actually, with 1.6 billion visits. It is called Dumb Ragdoll Game. But wait, that's not the original name of it. It used to be called Ragdoll Engine, which was a pretty big game on Roblox, since it was one of the first Roblox games to use any sort of ragdoll physics. But eventually, it became more vulnerable to hacks and exploits, and in mid-2021, the game was hacked, and since then, the game has been set to private. Oh, and also the owner has been, he's been terminated. But don't fret, there's a new Ragdoll Engine game. It's, you know, a bit more modern. It only has 83 million visits, but, I mean, hey, it exists. Anyways, like and subscribe if you don't want your Roblox games to be deleted.